Compound interest is often called the eighth wonder of the world. That phrase is more than just a catchy saying. It is a truth that has changed the lives of millions who understood it and ignored by millions who paid the price for not learning it. Compound interest is not complicated. It is simple mathematics combined with time and patience, yet the difference it creates in wealth, in debt, and in opportunity is so dramatic that it separates those who build financial freedom from those who struggle. At its core, compound interest is the process of earning interest not only on your original money, but also on the interest that money has already earned. It is money working on money, growth building upon growth. With every cycle, the growth accelerates, creating a snowball effect that gets larger the longer it rolls. The wealthy understand this principle deeply, which is why they start early, invest consistently, and let time do the heavy lifting. To make it simple, imagine you place $100 in an account with 10% annual interest. After the first year, you have $110. In the second year, you do not just earn interest on the original 100, you also earn interest on the $10 from the first year. That means you end year two with $121. By the third year, you have $133. The growth keeps accelerating, and after 10 years, that 100 has become more than 250. That is the power of compounding. Now picture the same example over 30 years. That 100 becomes nearly 2,000. Nothing extra was added, no extra effort was made. It is simply the result of money working on money. This is why people say compound interest is like planting a tree. At first it seems small, almost unimpressive. But with time, it grows larger and stronger, producing more fruit every year. Those who plant early enjoy a forest later. Those who delay planting often regret the lost years. Here's an engaging thought. Imagine two friends. One starts investing $100 a month at age 20 and stops at age 30. The other waits until age 30 to begin and invest $100 a month until age 60. Who ends up with more money? Surprisingly, the first friend who invested only 10 years has more by retirement than the second who invested 30 years. Why? Because the early start gave compound interest time to work its magic. This example shows why time in the market is more important than timing the market. Compound interest does not only apply to savings accounts. It applies to investing in stocks, bonds, real estate, and even businesses. Any area where growth builds upon growth can harness this force. Dividend-paying stocks are a clear example. When dividends are reinvested, they buy more shares, which then produce more dividends, creating a cycle of expanding returns. The wealthy understand this and rarely spend all their investment income. They reinvest to let compounding accelerate their wealth. It is equally important to understand that compound interest works against you when applied to debt. Credit cards are the clearest example. If you owe $1,000 on a card with 20% interest and make no payments, that debt grows rapidly. In a few years, it doubles or triples. Many people fall into traps because they underestimate how quickly interest compounds. What is a powerful tool for wealth building becomes a destructive force when it fuels liabilities. This is why the mindset around compounding is critical. The wealthy use it as an ally by letting investments grow and avoiding high interest debt. The poor often fall victim by carrying debt that compounds against them while failing to invest early enough. The principle is the same, only the direction changes. That direction decides whether compound interest is your best friend or your worst enemy. One of the keys to mastering compound interest is consistency. Putting money aside regularly, even if it is small, builds momentum. A single dollar invested today grows into many dollars over decades. But if you skip years, the opportunity is lost forever. Time is the most important ingredient. Every delay costs you potential growth that can never be recovered. This is why financial advisors stress the importance of starting now, not later. Let us pause with a powerful line. Compound interest rewards patience and punishes procrastination. Every year you wait to begin, the cost grows heavier. Every year you act, the reward grows larger. It is not about perfection or huge sums. It is about starting and staying committed. Another interesting perspective is how compounding can be applied to more than just money. Skills, habits, and relationships also compound. Reading a little every day compounds into knowledge over time. Exercising regularly compounds into strength and health. Building strong connections compounds in opportunities. The principle is universal. Small, consistent actions build massive results when compounded over years. The wealthy apply this mindset not only to money, but to every part of life. Back to money. One of the smartest ways to use compounding is through retirement accounts. Accounts like a 401(k) or IRA in the United States allow investments to grow tax-deferred or even tax-free. That means compounding works without the drag of annual taxes, accelerating growth even more. Over a career, this difference adds up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. The wealthy maximize these accounts early, knowing that the tax advantage supercharges compounding. Dividend reinvestment plans, often called DRPs, are another way to harness compounding automatically. Instead of taking dividend payments as cash, they are reinvested into more shares. Over time, this creates exponential growth. For example, an investor who reinvests dividends in a stable company sees not only share price appreciation, but also an ever-growing stream of dividends. The cycle feeds itself, and wealth grows steadily. Real estate also compounds when managed wisely. Rental income can be reinvested into more properties, each one producing more cash flow. Equity grows as tenants pay down the mortgage, and appreciation increases the property value. The combined effect is compounding across multiple dimensions: income, equity, and appreciation. This is why real estate is one of the most popular vehicles for building generational wealth. Here's another engaging scenario to imagine. What if you doubled a penny every day for 30 days? On day 1, you have 1 cent. On day 2, you have 2 cents. On day 10, you have $5.12. That still seems small. But by day 20, you have over $5,000. By day 30, you have more than 5 million. That is the astonishing effect of compounding. While life may not double daily, the principle is the same. Slow at first, unstoppable later. It is also vital to understand that discipline matters. Many people start investing but withdraw money too soon. They interrupt compounding before it reaches its full potential. The wealthy resist this urge. They let compounding work uninterrupted, knowing that the biggest growth comes in the later years. It is like cutting down a tree just when it starts bearing fruit. Patience is the secret ingredient that makes compound interest truly powerful. Inflation can reduce the value of money over time, but compound interest can outpace it if used wisely. While prices rise, investments that compound faster than inflation grow your purchasing power. This is another reason why saving in cash alone is dangerous. Cash loses value each year due to inflation. Investments that compound protect and expand your wealth. The wealthy understand this and keep money moving into assets that grow. Compounding also teaches humility. It shows that small amounts matter. People often believe they need to start big to succeed. But compound interest proves that starting small, if done consistently, leads to massive outcomes. A teenager who invests small sums can retire with more wealth than someone who waits until middle age to invest large sums. The earlier you start, the more powerful the outcome. Let us pause again with an engaging reminder. Compound interest is always working. The question is whether it is working for you or against you. Every credit card balance, every loan, every savings account, every investment is compounding right now. The choice is yours, you feeding the right side. A simple strategy to maximize compounding is the habit of paying yourself first. Set aside a portion of income before you spend on anything else. Automate the process so it happens without thought. Over time, those automatic contributions build into a large portfolio that compounds quietly in the background. You may not notice it year to year, but decades later it transforms your financial life. For beginners, the key steps are clear. Start early. Contribute regularly. Reinvest earnings. Avoid high-interest debt. Let time do the work. These are not complicated rules, but they are often ignored because the results are not immediate. Compound interest is invisible in the short term and overwhelming in the long term. The wealthy know this and focus on the horizon, not on the moment. Another interesting way to view compounding is through the lens of exponential growth. Humans naturally think linearly. We expect progress to be steady and predictable. But compounding is exponential. It looks slow at first, then suddenly it explodes. This is why so many people give up early. They plant seeds and expect a tree the next day. But those who wait, water, and nurture are rewarded with growth that seems magical. Charity and giving can also compound. When wealth grows through compounding, the ability to give also multiplies. A small donation today is valuable, but a portfolio that compounds for decades creates the ability to fund entire projects, foundations, and legacies. The wealthy understand this and often plan their philanthropy with compounding in mind. In debt, the lesson is equally critical. Avoid carrying balances on credit cards, payday loans, or other high-interest liabilities. The compounding works mercilessly, trapping people in cycles that are hard to escape. The first step to financial freedom is turning compound interest from an enemy into an ally. Pay down high-interest debt aggressively, then shift resources into assets that compound positively. Here is one final scenario. Picture yourself 20 years from now. Which future will you live? The one where debt has compounded into stress, or the one where investments have compounded into freedom? The decision is not in the future. It is in the choices you make today. Compounding is not a trick of mathematics, it is a law of life. And the sooner you align with it, the sooner it begins working in your favor. The power of compound interest lies in its simplicity. Small amounts, consistent contributions, and time create extraordinary results. It is the difference between struggling with money and mastering it. It is the reason the wealthy seem to grow richer while others stay the same. They let compound interest work for them, patiently, relentlessly, decade after decade. If you found this breakdown valuable and want more insights on how to grow your money,